Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neal and a special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neal on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neal. I'm your host. Instead of my main man Jerome with me, I got my main lady with me, Misty. But Misty's going to be sitting in for Jerome Payne today. So we need to say welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Arkansas. Welcome to West Memphis. Welcome to Missouri. Welcome to Mississippi. Welcome to Shelby County. Man, welcome everybody.
Everybody.
And then we need to say, we got a lot of Facebook viewers. So, hey, Facebook, keep on sending those questions, sending those concerns, and we'll address those. So what are we going to talk today? What we want to talk about is, we want to talk about young and being in the law. Look at that. So,
I'm an adult.
well, that you are. That you are. So, Misty, talk about, so you started, you've been practicing law a couple of years now.
College.
Okay.
And I mean, that's just not everybody's path. I would have been considered a non-traditional student.
Mm-hmm.
You were a non-traditional
I was definitely a non-traditional student.
So, I mean, everybody's paths are different.
Mm-hmm.
When I graduated from college, I mean, the last thing I was thinking about was going to law school. I was trying to find my way, trying to navigate through, 2009? I mean, we just went through a housing market crash, and, 9/11 was a couple of years before that, and then, you had Hurricane Katrina in 2005, and you just got a whole lot of, stuff that was happening, and everybody was just trying to find their place in the world. And so was I.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. A lot of times, because you and I were talking about this not too long ago, the difference between the Millennials and the Gen X group of individuals is a Millennial, if they're working somewhere and it ain't right, they just get up and leave.
Girl.
well, tell me, what's that mentality about?
Well, I think that, I am a millennial, but I would be considered an older millennial. My brother would be a younger millennial. And so to clarify, millennials are, I think it starts at age 25, and it's it's 26 to 35. So I'm at the upper end of millennials, the first millennials. But with the millennial generation, seeing, Gen X and seeing, the boomer generation, you see your parent work 20, 30, 40 years for a job, and to kind of see that job just kind of toss your parent away or toss your grandparent away. It's just a different time. And I think with every generation, it's kind of changed with time, especially, your corporate employers. When with the boomer generation, you would work for a company for 20, 30, 40 years, and that you were basically like family, And John Mamo actually did an interesting piece on this. I love listening to his tidbits on WKNO. And he was asking, when did it become, us versus them, even with the employers and the employees?
Right.
Well, it became us versus them when the employer, put profit over taking care of its employees. And so with that understanding, a millennial is like, girl, I'm not even going to be at this job 2 years. Like, you're not going to dog me out. Bye, girl. This ain't working. I'm out. Y'all go find something else.
Well, I mean, but how does that, do millennials not care about stability? Because I guess the question is stability. Well, how does that affect the stability thought process?
I'm not sure how it affects stability. I don't think that. I think that my generation, as you get older, you start to think about stability. I don't think that that's something that they think about on the front end. Like I said, when I graduated from college, I was like, well, I'm just gonna figure out something to do. You know, I don't know. I like doing this. Let's try this. Or I like doing this. Let's try this. You know, and it's you don't really think about, oh, I should, you know, invest in a Roth 401k, or I should, you know, put money aside here. It's kind of like a get rich quick thing. And you're seeing that permeate the generation under us, the Gen Z generation. Mm-hmm. Oh, I blew up on TikTok, you know, but in our generation, oh, we saw Justin Bieber blow up on YouTube, mm-hmm. or we saw you know, others blew up on YouTube. One of our favorite YouTubers, her name was Jenna Marbles. Mm-hmm. And Jenna Marbles is a year older than me. Mm-hmm. And she had, you know, $200,000, $300,000 in student loan debt. And she just started making videos, and she like blew up. And now she's like a multimillionaire, and she's actually quit YouTube. So mm-hmm. And then there's other YouTubers that you've seen. Another one of my favorite ones is Jackie Aina. And she, you know, who would have known her channel would have amassed millions of followers? Mm-hmm. She's black, you know, mm-hmm. She's a makeup and beauty guru. And it's just like, I'm going to have to forge my own way through this, because this traditional path that I've been taught, oh, go to college, complete college in 4 years. Like, now you need a college degree almost to work at McDonald's. Like, to be a manager at McDonald's, you need a college degree. So it's like, I have to find my own way. I got to find another way than this traditional path that's been told to me.
Well, how does that, I mean, but now you're a lawyer. How does that translate into the legal world?
So in the legal world, you get a lot of shifting around of jobs. Like mm-hmm. a lot of people, oh, I worked at this firm for a year. I didn't really like it. I'm going to go here. Or I worked at this place for a year. Not really something I want to practice, but, you know, basically if you work anywhere a year, mm-hmm. you can go wherever you want to go. And that understanding that, oh, I can kind of bounce around here, I can go here, I can go here. So it's more so, I guess the stability aspect of it would be, well, I'm an attorney, you know, mm-hmm. so I have this career. But a lot of people in my generation, the ones who have kind of fought through all of these things, like especially older millennials, mm-hmm. you have more than one stream of income. Mm-hmm. You have to have more than one stream of income. Okay. Because, I mean, the standard of living, cost of living, inflation, and, you know, the housing market is crazy. The housing market is right now, you know. And then the prices of the houses are not going down. Mm-hmm. You have to rise up to meet them. Mm-hmm. And it's just, oh, girl, I'm not going to survive off $50,000 a year. Or I have to make more. I have to do this. I have to have this coming in. And so you just have, and then you have this social media culture that permeates that, you know, I can sleep when I die, grind hard type mentality, which is, I just don't agree with, but that's part of what's going on with it.
Well, how does, because as somebody that's looking to employ somebody like that, as an employer, that would be uncomfortable.
Incredibly.
To be trying to bring somebody into your business that you know that their potential is 1 year, 2 years, and then they're going to get annoyed and move on. Mm-hmm. So how does Millennial protect themselves from just being kept out simply because of their mentality?
Well, I think also the job market itself changed in, I want to say 2010. It was a book I read. We used to, I can't remember what it's called, but it was something like That Used to Be Us or something mm-hmm, like that. It was mm-hmm. talking about the state of America. And the job market itself has changed. Mm-hmm. It's no longer about, oh, I have all these different criteria and I can do all these different things. It's about who you know. Mm. And so I could pick up the phone and call this person, girl, I need a job. I saw y'all was hiring. Help me out. Mm. And they'll slide your application through. Even if, like, you may not have all the qualifications for this job. You may know somebody that knows someone's parent. And they work here. You know, there's people who, in the past, I've had to, you know, call mom and say, hey, do you know anybody that works here or works in this field? And, mm-hmm. you know, they may have been a minister or something like that. Mm-hmm. mom picked up the phone and had that relationship, and they were able to push that person through. That person couldn't get hired anywhere, but they got hired here because of who you know.
All right.
And so I remember having a conversation with someone in the past about he believed that he was just supposed to get a job upon graduation because that's the model.
That's the model.
That's taught to you.
Right.
But again, in 2010, the market changed. It's about who you know. That's why you have nepotism that runs so rampant in the job market today.
Right.
And he was like, I don't understand. I have an accounting degree and I didn't get hired. And it's like, dude, did you take an internship? See, these corporations want you to take a free, unpaid internship. I don't have to pay you to train you. And see, that's learning from the previous model with these other generations. Oh, we paid them and they're messing up. And, we're paying them to mess up and figure it out. Well, we're not going to pay you to figure it out because you're cutting in our profits.
Okay, so yeah.
You can take this unpaid internship for 6 months or 3 months, figure out your student loan situation or a scholarship or something. Work for us for free. Then you get your experience that you need. You can put that on your resume.
Okay.
And now when you graduate, I have experience in this field. And so that person was like, no, I didn't do that. That's why you didn't get hired.
But so the law, though, would seem like an ideal place for a person with that mentality. Because, what I see, and maybe I'm wrong, but, a law degree, you have a doctorate degree. Yeah. So you can, you got a doctorate degree. So, reality, you should be titled doctor if that's, but most lawyers don't get into that. That's just nuances that we don't have. It's just nuances that. But I guess my question, thing is, if you have the ability to get a degree like that, because it translates in so many different fields. You can be a teacher, you can be a human resource person, you can be a lawyer. You can work as a consultant, you can work as a management consultant. There are so many different levels that people that have law degrees can go. So from a millennial sense, if you have the ability to get that degree, it would be an ideal thing that allows you to move.
Right. And you can kind of move in other directions. You can become a policy advisor for major corporations, municipal corporations, national corporations like the U.S. government. You can literally just move around where you want.
Would you? You got a couple of years under your belt, and you've known lawyers all your life. Unfortunately, most of your life. Most of your life. Would you recommend the field of law?
It depends. It depends. So there's different types of lawyers. We were talking about this. There's transactional lawyers, and then there's litigators. You and I are litigators.
Well, that's what I like to say I am.
Right. We can do transactional stuff. And transactional basically means I don't go to court. I don't file motions. I don't do much. I'll pay some other lawyer to do that for me. Yeah. I contract this out, and somebody else is going to fight this for me. And you got some of your major corporations that do that, and then some of them have their own in-house counsel. Most of them have their own in-house counsel, but they'll contract it out because that's not really what they do. But yeah, I pick up the phone, I talk to this client, I call the insurance company, I know this rule and this policy and this code, and I get you every dollar you deserve or whatever their slogan is, and that's what they do. But a litigator, you gotta have teeth to do that. You gotta be tough to do that. That's a lion's job. And you gotta be a lion.
You gotta be a lion.
And so some people get into, and it's okay. Like, it's not for everyone.
Right.
Some people, they are not good public speakers. They,
even though they have a law degree, and even though they've been to law school and learned,
they had to learn
all these things. That doesn't mean you're automatically going to be a good public speaker.
Exactly.
Or a good writer.
Yeah. Some people are great writers. Some people are great arguers. Some people, girl, I'm good behind that phone. Like, some people are just, it's just, everybody's got their own talent, I guess, if you want to call it talent. J. Cole, he says you're focused on what you're lacking and not what you're packing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to focus on what you're packing. You got to focus on what it is you do best. So law school is gonna really challenge who you are. It challenges what you're made of, especially the bar exam. It's gonna challenge what you're made of. Like for me,
Because just because you graduated from law school, you ain't.
You're gonna become a lawyer.
Yeah, you ain't made it yet.
Yeah, you haven't made it. You gotta take a cumulative exam, a 3-year cumulative exam. You thought you escaped legal methods. Oh no, you did not. Or methods of legal methodology or whatever it's called in other places, but. It's not for everyone. And in fact, the statistic is 1%. No, it's 2% now. 2% of the nation is lawyers, and our nation is made up of around 330 million.
Yeah, 330, 340.
Not even including like undocumented immigrants or other immigrants and other.
So 2% of that.
2% of 330 million.
And it's funny you say that. And I always joke. There, is only 2% of this population that have a law degree,
and 1% are lawyers,
and 1% are practicing attorneys.
Exactly.
And so, so you have, when you get a degree like this, you have a degree that's higher than most of the population in the United States. Again, you have a doctorate degree.
It's the same with medical doctors.
Yeah.
It's 1%. It's just not a very big percent. And then out of that 1%. If you break that down, 85% is white, and 5% is black. 1% is black male, 4% is black female.
Yeah, I heard that number.
And so, that it's just the things, there's so many different barriers that you encounter going to law school. Especially as a black person, you're going to encounter, educational barriers. I had a quality Memphis City Schools education, but thanks to my father and my mother, I had a quality education for real because, you would pull up at the school and make sure my homework was done, and you had a homework assignment why you didn't tell me. I was one of 3 kids that did the summer reading, and I knew the book thoroughly because I owed a book report.
Before school.
And so the teacher was like, "You really thought about this in depth?" I didn't want to. But, yeah, girl, I like the Joy Luck Club or whatever. Fahrenheit 451 is actually one of my favorite books. But, just that, it's just so many disadvantages. You've got in the black community, you've got fatherlessness. You've got poverty, socioeconomic issues, and, those barriers, and then there's hidden costs in law school.
There are hidden costs.
You're gonna do this competition, girl. You need a suit for that.
Yeah.
Where you gonna get a suit? Target. Like if you might be able to get through the first year competitions with the little Target blazer. Oh no, if you're doing a team, you gotta have a suit. And suits cost money.
Right.
So you have to take you a little trip to Dillard's or Macy's or
They used to have that.
Like you, Taylor.
They used to have, it's funny you say that because when I was in law school, I bought 2 suits. Everybody's got to have a nice blue one.
Everybody's got to have a blue one.
And I got that from Dillard's. And, it's funny. I don't even know if I hear this anymore. Dillard's used to have this thing called Dillard's Bargain Basement.
I don't know if they have that, but I know Macy's has something called Macy's Backstage, and it's the same thing.
Yeah, and you could go down in Dillard's, and they have I guess after a certain period of time, the suits,
It's not fashionable anymore.
Well, it's not fashionable because you don't look good in it. You can take a bad suit and put it on the right person, and it still looks like a good suit.
Right.
Right. So I did that. And again, I had scholarships for law school. And, not full scholarships, but still that becomes, it still became an extreme expense. Regardless of whether you have it.
And you got these disadvantages, when you come to law school with other ethnicities, and they have these supplements, they have, they've already met with the professor, they know the professors, and
well, we don't know that because now you understood that,
right?
But I didn't understand that because when I went to law school, it's kind of funny. I didn't know any lawyers. Had never met a lawyer,
right? Right.
Didn't know anybody that knew a lawyer. You know, so my plight was a little different. And so, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what was expected of me, I always joke with people, or not joke, but I tell this story, and I've told it on this stage before, is, it doesn't matter if you grew up and you didn't read well in grade school, and you didn't read well in high school, or you never read a book, you never wrote a book report. None of that really matters. Because if that mattered, I would have never finished law school.
Yes, sir.
Of course, most of my story. That's the reason why I was so hard on you and your brother about reading and doing stuff, because, I never read books.
Right.
And so
Mom encouraged you to read books.
Your mother encouraged me to read books, and then all I read was the newspaper again, and sports center, sports stuff again. But I said all to say, if you really want to do something, or if you really want something, you can make it happen. I hear people always say, well, my kid is ADHD, or my kid has a learning disability. And then I say to them, do you have any video games at the house? What kind of video games you have? And, I got, Madden and all this other stuff. And I say, let me just tell you this. I can't play Madden.
To be there all day.
No, because it's got all these little nuances.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anybody can make the thing go this way or go that way, but because the buttons do left and right and all that. But it takes a lot of work and a lot of learning and a lot of pay attention, a lot of to play a video game.
Yes, it is.
You got to understand a lot of the stuff, and it takes time. That's a set of discipline that if you can discipline yourself to learn that, I am disgusted if you say you can't learn, because you learn what you want to learn.
What you want to learn, right.
And so the thing that, you have to do is make somebody want to learn. You and your brother, I'll always encourage you guys and, say, hey, man, I'm proud of you, all these different things to try to make you think that it's important to learn.
And we had a math game, too.
Yeah.
I hated math.
Yeah.
But the math game was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's just something because if you want to do something, you will learn it.
Right.
And so you have to make it worth, or make a kid want to learn it, because there's no such thing as a dumb kid.
Right.
Kids are sponges, and they will sponge any and everything that you give them.
Right.
You just got to give it to them.
Right.
And then make them know that it's necessary. It's a part. Because again, I didn't read. When I graduated from high school, I don't even know how I got into the military. Because at the end of the day, I hadn't read any. No, look, let me not get this twisted. I'm not suggesting that I could not read.
Right. No.
I'm not suggesting.
You didn't read.
I didn't read, and I hadn't done certain things,
Right.
but I knew how to get around the necessity to do those things. Like, I never studied for a test in high school. I don't even know how I graduated, because I don't ever remember studying for any tests. Or I look at a note on the bus or something.
But you got like a very interesting skill set. Like it's cunning. Like,
Yeah, well,
you're very cunning, and so you can kind of figure. And it's kind of like we always make this joke with my brother. It's not if our dad figures it out; it's when. You're gonna make it work. You're gonna figure it out. Watch you with Rubik's cubes, and you'll sit there and you just kind of turn. And you gonna figure it out. But I don't know how long it's gonna take you, but you're gonna figure it out.
Well, but that's the thing, and that's why I want to make sure the audience understands that. Look, whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Right.
You just have to believe in yourself.
Right.
Somebody asked me, and I think I was doing a show for one of the school systems, and they asked me, was it hard? Was law school hard? And I can say this with 100% ease. It was not.
Well, for you,
It was not. And then they asked me, was it hard? And then they asked me, did I worry about failing?
No.
Never even entered my mind. Matter of fact, I had never even considered there was a possibility that I could fail.
Right.
But and I said all this to say this. That's because I believe in me.
Right.
And, you know, so if you believe or you want to do something and you believe in yourself, look, everything is hard. You
Everything
know,
takes effort.
Everything takes effort. If it was easy, everybody do it.
That's right.
You know, so, I mean, that's why I love it when I have somebody like you on a show, you know, so, you know, the younger audience or even the parents of the younger audience can you know, they can learn from you.
Right.
You know, and I tell people all the time, I said, shoot, man, look, Misty is 10 times smarter than me, but I can outwork Misty. I mean, you, I'm like, yo, I'm going to figure it out, you know. If it take me all night, you know, one of my boys used to always say, man, you kill me with that dedication to trying to figure something out. I'm like, you got to do that. I mean, it's like I want to play the video game. I want to play Madden. And the only way I can play Madden is I can take the time and figure it out.
Right.
But if I can take the time to figure out Madden, I can take the time to figure out anything.
Anything. Mm-hmm.
And that's the point, you know. So if your kid is sitting at home and they're playing all these video games, there is nothing slow, there's nothing dumb about your kid. It's what motivates that kid to get to that next thing.
Disinterested.
The disinterested. My reading was prompted by Black history.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what prompted my reading, Black history.
Right.
You know, I realized, man, I don't know Black history. And you know what? I'm not black. I'm black as a mug. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do you be as black as me?
Blackity black.
I'm blackity black. Yeah. And I don't know Black history.
Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neal and a special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neal on the SVP TV network.
My name is Aiden Smith. I'm 8 years old and I'm Quartet for life.
Hi, Aiden.
Hi, Miss Debbie.
How are you?
Good.
Aiden, what is it about quartet that makes you quartet music for life?
Well, I like the sound of it and I like to play it.
Wow. I know that you have a strong support team. But who's training you?
Well, my cousin Ron, my cousin Ike, and my Uncle Bo.
Is there anyone else in your life that motivates you, give you that push to be a great musician?
My mother and my grandmother.
Now, you're such a great musician at 8 years old. Are you playing for a group now?
Yes. Well, my grandma in the group, my mother, and my aunties and my cousins. The group is called the Anointed One.
Outside of music, do you have any other hobbies?
I like to do art. I try to make like something realistic, and I like to play games.
So, can you play a little bit of something for us?
When I go